Folks, welcome to the Bloomberg Digital Marketing Webinar. This is number 7. Very timely that you are here. And there's a number of things I'll be taking up that are very time sensitive. In addition to that, just general marketing data. Some of this stuff you might have seen from me before. Why am I going to cover things over and over again? Well, you all know the more you do something, the more you learn something, the more you get out of it the next time, and the more certainty you have about it. So what I'm going to ask everybody to do is keep your microphones on mute. If you want to ask me a question, totally okay. I've got a chat active. Yeah, sometimes I see it, sometimes I don't. So just go ahead and open up your microphone and say, hey, Dan, that's okay. Everybody else, or everybody until that point, I want you to keep your microphones on mute. However, I do see your faces on my lower monitor here. Got about 5 monitors here, so it's great to see everybody here. Those that don't know, good to see you, Dr. Patel. All right, so this is who I am. I'm the Senior Service Consultant at MGE, but my position here at this point in time is the co-owner of Blumberg digital marketing agency. You all probably have some familiarity with who I am, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. I am going to take up the first point, which is the economy and current news. Now, right now, industries are showing, and they're showing that things are slowing. And is this going to hit dental? Well, I've already got a number of clients that are walking into MGA and saying, wow, it's kind of different. You know, we're seeing a different change. We're seeing different approval rates and care credit. We're seeing different approval rates in different credit companies. We're seeing different show rates. Now, I'm not going to talk about show rates, cancellations, and such, because those are internal things. But if you start to see a general trend broadly, I mean, it's not just a couple of clients, then that's something to be concerned about. Are we seeing it broadly right now? I wouldn't say we're seeing it broadly, but what I would tell you is other industries are definitely seeing it. And what are those industries that we always look for to be kind of a gauge of where economy is going? Car sales, home sales, luxury item sales. These things, this was a couple of months ago that these things were starting to show slows. We're definitely seeing it now. Well, what does all that mean? That means that we've got to promote our cause and our purpose and market louder than the noise hitting your patients. Please understand what I just said. You're in an essential industry, so you're good. You know, you're not in luxury watch sales or luxury car sales, timeshares, these sort of things. These are the things that are starting to go. But you're in an industry where somebody still could say, you know, listen, instead of 5 crowns, I'm going to do 2. That's going to happen. Okay, things are a little bit tighter. Even if they're not tighter, the public perception is, oh my gosh, things are, you know, taking a change or whatever. So your cause and your purpose and getting that nailed down with your team is very, very important. And we've got the list of studies that Bloomberg Digital has provided of showing that people with healthy teeth and gums live longer, showing that people who have outstanding bacteria and decay in their mouth are more subject to and more highly predisposed to illnesses and disease, such as, but not limited to, diabetes, heart disease, pancreatic cancer, premature birth, birth defects, and a slew of others, stroke, even links to dementia. So you need to have that data handy, because what's hitting your patients, regardless of what's happening currently or not, your patients are walking in with their new iPhone, their new handbag, they walked out of their new car, or even if those things aren't new or nice, they still have them. And that means those things are important to them. You have the mission, as you have well understood from the ABC sales and communication seminars with MGE, from your professional sales training at MGE. This is taking health, their longevity, living a longer life, quality of life, and bringing that up and making that important to them. Now, that's when they're in the office. How do you get them in the office? And that's what today is about. So I'm going to tell you right now, plan on increasing your marketing budget. This is just plan on it. Not only because I'm saying so, but because market rates right now are showing that things are more expensive, and that applies to Google Ads and everything else. But even more so because of what might be around the corner. The time to promote and test your marketing is right now, not when you need marketing. Give me a thumbs up if you understand this concept. Okay, so the time to promote and test your marketing is right now, not when all of a sudden, oh, things are slow. What should I do? Too late. You are too late. Does it mean that you don't do what you got to do? No, you do what you got to do. That's what you do. That is part of it. But I'm going to tell you that is far too late. So a typical like Google Ads campaign, 2 to 3 months, 2 to 3 months. We're going to have times where there's, you know, a funny anomaly where, wow, you know, first month out of the gate and, you know, we've got good patients coming in and we've closed some treatment as a result, but don't count on it. A postcard, well, 6 weeks from the time you mail it, 6 weeks from the time you mail it. So I'm just telling you right now, it is 100% something that you need to be thinking with before you need it. Now I'm going to cover what Mr. Hubbard talks about here. And I've talked about this before, but you could not read this enough. It's on an article called On Promotion. And this is covered at the very last executive seminar. This is the executive seminar that I start delivering as of tomorrow, management tools and troubleshooting, but I'm going to give you guys a gem out of this. Mr. Hubbard says, if you try to straighten up comm lines, communication lines, and the organization in the face of threatened financial disaster, you will always be too late. Now, you might not be in a threatened financial disaster, but let's just take a look at this concept. Things could be taking a turn. You might be fine, but things could be going in a different direction. So he goes on, when financial slumps are in view or forecast, always promote first and fast, ignoring the lines and organizations, and straighten up comm lines and organizations afterwards. So I want you to get this concept, very, very important concept. I'm going to say it again. And please let me be clear. I don't know what's going to happen in 2 months or 3 months or 4 months, but for those of you who've been around a little while and studied history and certainly financial history, there are things that are indicators that maybe you're seeing as a parallel now of what has happened in the past and not so distant past. I'm not talking like in the 30s or, you know, I'm talking not too distant past. So I'm going to read it again. When financial slumps are in view or forecast, always promote first and fast. If you've got a notepad, write that down. Always promote first and fast. First and fast. Ignoring the lines and organizations, and straighten up communication lines, comm lines, and organizations afterwards. Now, what is the point here? What is the point? How many of you could say that you have internal issues that could be addressed to improve your practice? They're just internal organization. Raise your hand. I have internal issues that could be worked on. Yeah, if you didn't raise your hand, then you didn't hear my question. Like, you got to turn up the volume. Like, we all have things that we need to improve, okay? So what I'm talking about and what Mr. Hubbard is actually taking up here is, okay, good. I've heard this before. I need a front desk. I need to get my front desk operation, and then I'm going to promote. Literally, I don't have a front desk. Like, who's answering it right now is my sterilization tech. And she runs from the back to the front. It generally catches it by the 4th ring. So I'm not going to spend money on marketing. False, wrong, absolutely wrong. You better get that front desk dealt with. Absolutely. You better get them trained. You better get other things dealt with. But if you wait until those things are in place and then you start to market, we have a problem because there's always a delay. There's always a delay. Like I said, a postcard goes out from the day it's mailed. That's 6 weeks. That's 6 weeks before you should expect the first result. And it doesn't mean that you won't get a result before that, but that's expected. And then you got to mail that thing 3 times. Do the math on how many weeks we're at. 3 weeks out, that's 18 weeks. Do the math. That's a postcard. Some channels are a little bit faster. Google AdWords a little bit faster. But I'm going to put this on the screen again. I want you to just see what he's talking about. If you try to straighten up comm lines, communication lines, and the organization in the face of threatened financial disaster, you will always be too late. When financial slumps are in view or forecast, always promote first and fast, ignoring the lines and organizations, and straighten up comm lines and organizations afterwards. If you know this, and do it. You won't ever have a complete financial disaster. Raise your hand if you would like to never have a complete financial disaster. Raise your hand if you would like to never. Oh, okay, good. That's like all of us. Everybody who's recently joined us, thank you for joining us. Turn on your videos. I see half of you, and I want to see all of you because this is interactive. Today is very interactive. So turn your videos on.
I have something wrong with my camera, so I wish I could turn on my video. It's a technical issue. Sorry about that.
I am totally okay. Good to see you, Doctor. We understand you're in Canada. Things are different.
It's Kareem, yes.
Just kidding.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, good.
It's frozen.
All right. Okay. No worries. Good. So and we got Ruben coming in. Let him in. Okay, good. So Mr. Hubbard goes on. He says, and if you do this, if you know this and do it, you won't ever have a complete financial disaster. He goes on. If you try to straighten up the lines in organization in order to use them to promote, the disaster will be upon you before you have a straight set of lines and an organization. So the result is always a smaller organization if you reverse the correct sequence of action. Organizations that grow smaller have not promoted first and reorganized second. They reorganize first and so can only save themselves by reducing staff. They should have promoted first and then reorganized in the time thus bought. You buy time with promotion, and in that time, you can straighten up the house. Thumbs up if you understand that concept. Thumbs up if you understand that concept. Okay, good. So I'm going to put it on. I'm going to take the screen down and everybody's video's on. Well done for those people that have video. Turn your videos on. This is the first interactive drill. Okay. Straightening up the organization, straightening up the comm lines, reorganizing. We're going to call that one. Everybody put a one finger in the air. Put one finger in the air right now. Good. That's one. Two is promoting. So everybody put two fingers up. Good. If you want to expand, if you want to be prepared, what do you do first? I'm looking. What do you do first? Good for you. Good for you. Excellent. Yeah. Peace, everybody. Excellent. Now I did that to kind of trick you, see if I could trick you, and I didn't. So good on you. I said, straighten up comm lines is one, reorganizing one, promoting. I put that as two. No, you promote first and then you reorganize. You need to straighten something up. Fantastic. Do it. Promote. This is fascinating to see those people who do it, and they do it well. Things go wrong internally in the organization. What do? A great executive goes, okay, good, that's very interesting, walks to his or her office, closes the door, locks it, sits down and writes their promo campaign, the promotional campaign, whatever, gets that done, make sure that it's actually in action, then walks out to go straighten up the organization. Takes a discipline. I'm just telling you, as an executive, it takes a huge discipline, but a discipline that will serve you very well. Let's put the next slide up. Organizations that grow smaller have not promoted first and reorganized second. They reorganize first and so can only save themselves by reducing staff. They should have promoted first and then reorganized in the time thus bought. You buy time with promotion. Everybody say that with me. You buy time with promotion. Everybody say it out loud, even if you're muted. You buy time with promotion. Very good. And in that time, you can straighten up the house. Never, when promoting organizations out of a threatened financial disaster, consider whether or not it is easy to do or if staff can do it. Remember that the staff involved, if there is a slump, the staff involved started the slump. Just promote, and regardless of anyone, get it executed. Then repair the lines and personnel malfunctions or improper placements. Thumbs up if you're tracking, thumbs sideways, kind of, thumbs down if you're lost. I need to see it from everybody. Good. Last point, an organization must continue to expand in order to live at all. Therefore, 1A keeps promotion going. Executives, if you want to be a great executive, raise your hand right now. If you want to be a great executive, great CEO, business owner, manager, okay, great. So this is the formula. Here is the formula. An organization must continue to expand in order to live at all. Therefore, 1A keeps promotion going. B, administers intelligently. C, practices necessary economies, right? You're saving money and you're trimming and you're doing what you can to make sure you're not wasting money. In that order. And in emergencies, one promotes before one even thinks about reorganization. Doing that maintains the expansion. Where an organization has the same income year after year, they will soon begin to have less income. They are handling their various crises by administration and economy only. They're sorting out and saving money, but they're not promoting. If they watched their comm lines and every executive kept on his executive hat and corrected all dev T, right? Developed traffic, unnecessary traffic, just unneeded, repeated things, right? They would never have to do frenzied promotion. As by the design of organizations, they would be promoting constantly. And if they handled bad crises by everyone grabbing some old, tried and true promotional project and making it fly before they even wondered why they got into a slump, and afterwards put their house in order when the promotion project was done, they would only expand. I'll tell you, it's a shot in the arm right there of what to do as an executive. Your priorities: A, keeps promotion going; B, administers intelligently; C, practices necessary economies. You must practice economy. You must keep saving money, trimming the fat, absolutely, but look where it sits, okay? Thumbs up if you're tracking, thumbs up if you're tracking. Okay, good, thank you. Good, so now we go into, well, what do I do? What do I do? I got all these different channels, so many different channels. What do I do? And that's a fantastic question. What do you do? But before I get into what do you do, and I want you to think with this, what is new patient marketing? New patient marketing is using different channels, but whatever channel you use, you're going to have to make sure that you think like a consumer and not a dental professional. Please understand what I just said. Think like a consumer, not a dental professional. So everybody take off your dental hat. I want to see your hands go up and take off dental professional hat. I don't care what hat you are, just like that. Good guys. Thanks for playing. I know it's a bit weird, but just go with me on this. Okay. Now you are a consumer. Raise your hand if you shop on Amazon. Everybody raise your hand if you shop on Amazon. Good. Me too. Let's say it's 2:50 p.m. in the afternoon and our ironing board just broke. We need an ironing board here tomorrow morning by 7 a.m. We go on to Amazon. They have next morning delivery, 7 a.m. Wow, I can get that thing, but I have 5 minutes to make a choice. I've done some searching and I found 2 ironing boards. They have the same features. I like them. Pretend that you like them. Aesthetically, they are, even though you might like the one on the left or the one on the right more aesthetically, let's just say you like them both equally. They can absolutely scratch the itch, both A and B. Ironing board A has 5 stars, 19 reviews, $49.95. Ironing board B has 4.7 stars, 475 reviews, is $56.95. Look at that. You have 15 seconds to press the button and place an order. Otherwise, you will miss tomorrow morning's delivery. Make your choice. Everybody's got to choose. Pretend that you needed one. Okay. Everybody for ironing board A, raise your hand. Good. Got 2 people there, 3 people. Good. Good. Everybody for ironing board B, raise your hand. Thank you. And everybody that didn't raise your hand, raise your hand. Thank you for the honesty. Appreciate that. Cool. All right. Good. So we had 3, maybe 4 people that said ironing board A. Everybody else wants to spend an additional $7 on an ironing board that has lower stars. Raise your hand if you could tell me why. If you're in group B, somebody raise your hand. I'm going to call on you. Somebody raise your hand. I'm going to call on you. Dr. Snitofsky, tell me. Open up your microphone, sir. Here we go. Unmute there, doctor. There you go.
Can you hear me?
There you go.
Yeah, great.
Yes, sir.
It's all about the reviews. You have 475 people saying it's great, as opposed to 19 people. It's the opinion. For 0.3 stars, I'm going to go with what 475 people say over what 19 people are going to say. And I'd rather spend $7 and know that my product is going to be good because all these people have their opinions about the product already.
Excellent. How many of you feel the same way as Dr. Eric? Raise your hands. Interesting. Said just about everybody. Look, and Dr. Eric, if I could ask you, listen, you came to MGE a relatively short while ago, less than a year ago. Doctor, how many reviews did your practice have at that time?
4.
Great. Doctor, you have been using Blumberg Digital Services. You've been doing the ads. You have been doing what we've been telling you to, and you've been getting reviews. Can I ask how many reviews you guys have now?
Getting up to about 400. Closing on 400. Wow. And we started with your campaign, listening to what you told us, I would say mid-January. So,
great.
You know, yeah, it's unbelievable. I can't even explain how important it is. You know, to anybody that's out there, if you can hear me, it is the single most important thing that you can do. I've been a practicing dentist, graduated from Tufts in 1990, so private practice, maybe 28 years. I could care less. I'm an old guy, you know, I could care less about a review. My patients were happy, and that was it. And I went on with my life, running an insurance practice. And Dan, I got 2 minutes to talk, or what?
Please, rock and roll.
Great.
Rock and roll.
In actuality, in November, I was thinking of, I just turned 60. I was just thinking of getting out of the practice altogether, even though my son is a third-year student in Columbia. Just couldn't take the insurance practice. Riding my bike one day in the basement, my Peloton, and I'm going through Facebook, and I see Dan. Take a 2-day seminar with me, and let's see how we can help you. It's crazy that I'm sitting here even telling you my story, because 8 months ago when I would hear people, and I'm from New York, I'm street smart, I'm book smart, I believe absolutely nothing that I hear, and I pretty much don't even believe what I see. So all I could tell you is that I was at the point that my partner's 3 years younger. I said, John, let's plan on buying me out in January, blah, 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 blah. Met Dan, did a 2-day new patient seminar, listened to what he said, and I had nothing to lose because I was done. You know, I didn't want to deal with insurance. Just wanted to be a dentist. And if I couldn't do that, and I obviously failed at it for 27 years. I got a great house. I put my kids through school. I got vacation. But was I happy? Absolutely not. I dreaded going into the office. I hated that the insurance companies were my pimp and told me how to treat my patients. And it was good for me because I could have cared less where I was going because I've had it. So I listened to Dan, got a great team, hooked me up with Amy and Desiree. And I said to myself, you know what? I got a couple of months. Let me throw some money because I've lost more money in the stock market like everybody else is right now. And I said, let me give these guys a shot. So one of the first things they taught in the seminar was how important reviews were. So my patients have been coming to me for 20, 25 years. Everyone calls me Eric. I mean, it's such a family-oriented practice. All I needed to do was starting to ask. And sure, people, you ask them something and they're happy, they're going to start giving you reviews. And it just was just a roller coaster of how good things were happening for us. What I can tell you right now that my office is a fee-for-service practice. Within 6 months, I've dumped every single PPO, every union, everything. I do not do a crown that is less than $1,250. My molar root canals are $1,450. My anteriors are $1,000. I'm in a blue collar neighborhood where I would say a dual income of a parent with 2 kids is maybe $90,000 in this economy. I had the kahunas to go ahead and listen to them because I didn't care. And I can tell you my win, on July 31st, my accountant called me and we've had my tax return in 7 months beat my last year. We have doubled our practice in 7 months. I mean, July 31st, we hit last year's number. It's just phenomenal. You don't want insurance patients. You want these Google patients, the insurance patients who come into you and say, hey, doc, you're in the book. This is what we're going to do, and this is what I'm willing to spend. My first Google patient, $18,000. I extracted all his teeth. I'm just starting his case, just took impressions, locator abutments, extracted all his teeth, 3 implants, bone grafts, the whole 9 yards. First patient, it was like $17,000 or $18,000. Couldn't believe it.
Dr. Eric, so that, to be clear, that you're also running the Google ads, which, we bent your arm backwards and said, throw $5,000 out there. And, you were like, oh my gosh, but you took the leap and you did it. But you're now running the ads, Google ads, and you've got these reviews. And I want to just focus on something. And I want to ask you a question. How many times do you now hear people saying hey, doctor, I saw your reviews. I've read your reviews. Look at him. Everybody give him a big hand. 362 reviews, 4.9 stars. Well done. Well done. You did that. And yeah.
Every single one of my patients, I will ask them, the new patients that come in from Google. First off, the Google patients are just going off of what people say. And I ask them, I said, why did you come to my office? And it's all about the reviews, your reviews, your reviews, your reviews. And it's amazing. So my office was running so thin. If an office chair broke, a chair that my receptionist sit on, I would be bummed out that I got to go spend $200, and go and get the chair. Blumberg and NDE, they taught us the only way you're going to get any results is by engaging your staff to help you. So I couldn't believe I was sitting there ready to sell my practice because I'm just aggravated and I'm not making enough money. And they're telling me, you better give your staff bonuses. You got to pick a number of how many Google reviews you want every month, and you got to pay them. And by doing it, they're excited. My office staff has gone from being having a bum attitude to they are unbelievably excited. I never shared my numbers. I'm not going to tell them what I make. Now I tell them what I make. And I'm like, we got to make this amount of money because if we do, you guys are all going home with money. We hit Google reviews, you're going home with money. My practice, I could talk numbers, I don't really care. We were a $1.1 million practice for 15 years. That was it. So we're on track this year for about 2.1 million. And when they were sitting here and telling me to give them money when I didn't have money, I'm like, this is absurd. And they want me to promote the practice when I have no money. And it's funny, Dan, that you're showing me this slide because it says promote first, fix everything else after. And it worked for me.
Yep.
Because I think in March, we were a little bit slower in the summer, partly because I'm moving and my house is a mess and whatever. I literally just closed on my house yesterday. So my head wasn't into the practice much in July and August, but we had an average of about $111,000 a month. Our best month, and we had a couple of them, 180. In April, when I did 180 grand, I called Amy and I'm like, I know, Amy, I owe you a trip to Hawaii or something, because I did say that. I'll do something for Christmas. But guys, I'm not BSing you. I'm in a blue collar area. You got to get off the PPOs. You want the Google patients. They're coming in, they're looking at the pictures. They're looking at 300 people saying, Dr. Flax is the best. Dr. Eric treats me like he's my father and gives me advice. We're a warm family practice, and you need those people to tell you that. If I have a patient who comes in as a new patient and all they needed was an exam, x-rays, and a cleaning, I'm getting that review on the way out. My staff knows.
So, doctor, I have a question for you.
Sure.
I have a question. So they're bringing up that they've read your reviews. When we first talked initially at the new patient workshop, you had no photos. I think the only photo you had was the Google Street View on your Google profile. Now you're getting these photos here, which you had, I think, within the first week after the new patient workshop. Now you've since had Allison, the designer, put these before and afters together with your little excerpts beneath with the description of what was done, which I think is just brilliant. Again, you're following it letter by letter, the new patient workshop.
That's it.
Doctor, who's the photographer taking this photo? Who's the photographer?
My office staff. Yeah, my office. Oh yeah.
Yeah, or you, right?
It's one of us, you know?
Yeah. So it's just, Dr. Eric got very hands-on and got, very involved and is now seeing that. So but I really want to impress upon everybody here that if you look at our example, thank you, Eric, that is just fantastic. And everybody give Doctor one more hand.
Just in closing, you need to, I took the new patient workshop. I sat there on a Saturday, Sunday, because the weather's crappy in New York in late December. And I had that done in a week. And in a week, I was getting Google reviews. You just need to jump in and do it. It's kind of fun. But I'm telling you, in a month or 6 weeks, it's going to work. You can look me up, Queens Village Dental Associates, Dr. Eric. My phone number is up there. You don't believe me, you come in, I'll show you my numbers. I marketed once in 2007. The company stunk, and I'm not getting paid to talk about anything, but they call me up every other week. I'm accountable for my numbers, about new patients, about figures, and it's a lot of fun. And I love doing my dentistry, and everybody is super happy because once you get your staff involved that they can make more money. I mean, think about it. If you went to a job every day and you knew there was nothing in it for you, you didn't care if the patient canceled and came in next week. My staff knows that it's the 25th. We need to get $22,000 in the office. They're not letting that patient cancel. Listen to what these guys say. Do it. You will be a fee-for-service practice. The Google patients come to you not because of Aetna or MetLife or Delta Dental. They're coming because of your pictures and what people are saying about you. And then they're not looking for insurance work. And I only want to kill myself because I wasted 26 years. And the only reason why I'm not going to kill myself is because my son is not going to have to go through what I did. He's going to learn from my mistake. Simple as that.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, doctor. Really, thank you. And congratulations on your success. What we're banging home is exactly what we're talking about here. You all said, as consumers, most of you said you're going to choose ironing board B, $7 more. Now we're talking about a $3,000 treatment plan, a $1,200 treatment plan, a $8,000 treatment plan, a $12,000 treatment plan, a $35,000. Yes, you've got to think like a consumer. And it ties in with social proof. Again, social proof defined in a marketing context is evidence that other people have purchased and found value in a product or service offered by a business, because people are more likely to purchase a product that others are already purchasing, the bandwagon effect. Social proof can be a way to increase conversion by showing customers how popular a product or service is. What are the different samples? Well, obviously video testimonials, of which Dr. Eric has probably sent me 3 or 4 since he's just started, right? So, and they're great. They are phenomenal. Online reviews. Featuring online reviews, taking your best ones where it's talking about your amazing family dentistry, your amazing whatever, implants, Invisalign, whatever you want more of, and putting that all over your website, really highlighting that you are the choice of people. Any community acknowledgements that you are getting and involved in. If you got awarded top dentist, like Dr. Faltine for, top dentist, great. Put that at the top of your website. If you have other acknowledgement, even if people don't know what that is, what is top docs of Irving? Well, people might not know it, but the mere fact that it's being highlighted there, fantastic. Any sort of community involvement you are involved in, Dr. Faltine again here, sponsored Cypress Ranch High School cheerleaders, donation to Tapestry of Hope, a little bit of information about it, donation to Cy-Fair Independent School District. This is, oh, wait a minute. These guys are more than just about the money or just about their own business. They're with us in our community. You want a family practice, fee-for-service type patient who cares more about their teeth, their health, their longevity, the quality of life than they do their insurance? Well, then you are in the right spot, but you got to talk to that person. Your before and after photos, we've talked about it. Before and after photos, I will not shut up about it. You better have 2 cases sitting on your homepage, just like this on Dr. Matheson's office, with a big button beneath it says, click here to see our smile gallery, and then feature them, just like you saw Dr. Eric. Well, put a big before on the left, a big after on the right, and a little explanation of what was done in non-dental speak beneath that, and do it over and over and over, and really build the character of what you can do, and talk to people who don't know anything about what an implant is. They don't know what a bridge is. They don't know what bonding is, but boy, they can see the left, they can see the right, and they can learn a little bit and read this. They could go, okay, good. Larry wasn't happy with the smile or his missing tooth with some crown and bridge work and choosing a new shade for his teeth. He's a new man. Not much keeps him from smiling now. How many of you are happy for Larry? Raise your hands if you're just personally happy that Larry got, yes. And you will find other people will similarly feel quite happy for Larry. They don't know Larry from Adam, but okay, good, there he is. And I'm happy that he's, definitely left is now right. I'm definitely before is now after. Wow, I'm happy for him. And now as a potential new patient, I go, now what the heck is crown and bridge work? And how do you choose a new shade for teeth? Good. We don't answer that question on your website. We answer that question in the practice. We get that person in for a free smile makeover consultation. We show them what we can do with Invisalign. We can close a gap. We can take chipped and cracked teeth and make you a new smile. But I want to cover with you the technical of what's happening here. How many of you are following? I'm going at a pace now. How many of you are following? Thumbs up. I need to see thumbs. Okay, good. If I'm going too fast, then you need to let me know if you have a question. But this is very important because what I have just shown you is called marketing perfection, and it follows a very specific formula. The formula is as follows. It's a 3-step formula. If you don't get it right, if you alter the steps, if you skip any step, your marketing misses. Like you've just wasted time, money, opportunity. So here it is. Mr. Hubbard says, in any promotional piece, be it an ad, an advertisement, a brochure, a flyer, a pamphlet, a poster, you follow the line of step 1, write these down, write these down. Step 1, attract. What is attract? Attract means get someone's attention. Now, how many of you as consumers, think like a consumer for a second, how many of you as consumers are time bankrupt? You're just busy. You're not financially bankrupt, but boy, you are time bankrupt. How many of you feel time bankrupt? Raise your hands. Yeah, we're busy. So think about how much commercial material you get. You're getting a lot of commercial material. Let me ask you this question. How many of you go to your mailbox at the end of the day, grab out this bucket load of stuff, walk over to your recycle bin and go out, out, out. Oh, that's kind of cool. Put that aside. Out, out. Oh, that's a bill. And out, out. Oh, that's kind of cool. How many of you do that? Just like I just did. How many of you do that? Good. How long are you giving each piece that you glance at? This is hundreds of thousands of dollars every year that's being sent to you in printed 4-color UV protected promotional material that you are tossing out. How long are you giving it? How long do you think you're giving it? But just think about it. It's different for each person. I know how long I give it. It's not very long. It's not very long. So what you're doing is you're taking somebody who's over commercialized, a consumer. They get too many commercial messages. Raise your hands if you get too much junk email. Raise your hands. You get too much junk email. Good. If you are on YouTube and you go to see a video or something and it says skip ad in 3, 2, 1, how many of you skip the ad? Let me see. Raise your hands. You skip the ad. Great. So there you go. You are commercially overloaded. You have too many commercial messages. So now look at the irony. Here we are at a marketing webinar, learning how to market. commercial messages to people who are intolerant to marketing. Do you see the irony here? So that's where we sit. But proper marketing will get somebody to go, wait, what's that? What is that? That's the attract step. Attract. It gets me to look up. Okay, I'm busy. Ooh, what's that? Attract. Step one. That's step one. Now, step two. Does anybody know step two? Open up your microphone if you know step two. Not the Blumberg digital staff. I know you know step two, but everybody else. Step two. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Attract. You get their attention. Step two, you create interest. You develop interest. Oh, what is this? Oh, look at that. Before smile, after. Oh, what did they do? Boom. Right then, and only then do you attempt to get your message across. Sending a promotional piece out with the message, fail. Absolute fail. Mr. Hubbard says an ad is not textual information. It is a communication, but it has to be a very fast communication because people won't look at it very long. It has to be able to deliver its message in about complete the sentence in your mind, has to be able to deliver its message in about a quarter of a second, which is about how much time we give. Mr. Hubbard says the actual test of a piece of advertising copy is, will it register in the instant it takes the individual to pick it up and decide he's going to throw it away? Boom, attract. Oh, left. Oh my gosh. Ooh, that looks much better. Interest. Get the message across. That's the formula. One more time. Attract. Oh my gosh, on the left. Well, no way that's the same person. Interest. Bring it on down. Get your message across. Thumbs up if you track that. Thumbs up if you tracked what I just did there. Okay, so now I want to know if anybody has any questions, because what I've just talked to you about is how to design a postcard, how to design your website, how to design a Google ad, what to do in a Google post, what to do in a Facebook or Instagram post. This is it. Attract interest, get your message across. Attract interest, get your message across. And we're talking to people who are going to these places with very little time and very little tolerance. So any questions? Any questions? Hands up if you got a question. Open up your microphone if you got a question. Okay, so I'm going to flash some images on the screen. You are all going to open up your microphones. Everybody opens up. Everybody turn your microphones right now. Everybody. No exceptions. So what do you guys think is the best way to communicate an idea if you've only got a quarter of a second? What do you think?
A picture.
Good. Pictures. Spot on. Spot on. Good. So I want you to see what idea you can get in a quarter of a second. So I'm going to flash it on the screen and you just say what, there's no right or wrong answer, just whatever comes to mind. In 3, 2, 1.
Relax.
Vacation.
Corona.
Beautiful. All right. And next one in 3, 2, 1.
Family.
Consult.
Financial planning.
Good.
Talk.
Good. Do you see?
Retirement.
But look how fast that is. I literally put that image on the screen for an instant.
Proctology. Seniors.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Next one. Look quickly. Look quickly. 3, 2, 1.
Dentistry.
Results.
Yeah. Results. Yeah. Before and after photo that shows results. Next one. 3, 2, 1.
Before and after. Implant.
Implant.
And yeah, and what I want you to think about, say you are missing a tooth or you have a false tooth or whatever, you see that and you see that the before and the after, that's going to draw you. And now if that's not an issue for you, you're going to move on. And that's what marketing is. You're looking for the people who have that issue, not everybody. Okay. So last one, 3, 2, 1.
So.
Good. Good. So now what I want you to do, I'm going to show you some things. These are samples of what others have done. And marketing is a little bit of interrupting, like you're a little bit, shaking the tree a little bit, and you're waking somebody up out of, I don't want any more commercial messages. Please don't talk to me. I'm going to put some actual billboards, because a billboard is the acid test of marketing. Your postcard should be like a mini billboard. Your website should be a series of billboards. And I'm going to put a billboard. I just want to know. I don't want you to say, okay, I like it, I don't like it, I would use it, I wouldn't use it. I don't want that. I want you to answer this question. Thumbs up, I would look. Thumbs medium, not really. Thumbs down, I would not look. Did it get your attention? That's all I'm asking. Did it attract and bring your attention there? So get your thumbs ready. 3, 2, 1. Would you look? Thumbs up, thumbs medium, thumbs down. Would you look? Okay. Would you look? Thumbs up, thumbs medium, thumbs down. Okay. Would you look? Thumbs up, thumbs medium, or down? Good. Good. Sorry, I got somebody calling me in the middle of my seminar. All right. Next one. Would you look? Thumbs up, thumbs medium, thumbs down. Okay. Good. Would you look? Thumbs up, thumbs medium, thumbs down. I'm not asking you, would you do the same billboard? I'm asking, would you look? Think like a consumer. Okay, good. Next one. Would you look? Thumbs up, thumbs medium, thumbs down. Okay. Really? Some of you are saying you wouldn't look. Wow. Well, listen, it's a personal question. Good. Would you look? Thumbs up, thumbs medium, thumbs down. Okay. And lastly, my favorite, would you look? Thumbs up, thumbs medium, thumbs down. Okay. Listen, you may be talking into somebody who has no interest, and that's just, they're not a public. But for somebody who's missing a tooth, that's going to get attention. So this is good marketing design. Why are we talking about this? Do I want you to go design your postcard, your website? No, I don't. But I know many of you are given choices by marketing companies that, yeah, maybe it's good advice, maybe it's not, maybe it's very authoritative advice, and they're saying you should definitely do this. I want you to be the judge of that. I don't want them to be the judge of that. I want you to be the judge. Do you trust this? Is it scratching the itch? And be a consumer when you look at it. Thumbs up if you track what I just said. Thumbs up if you track what I just said. Okay, any questions on this? Okay, now I'm going to take up a couple points that we all need to think about, which are going to talk quick about like how to get results. And I talked about getting started in testing. All right, there's a couple different things. When you go searching for, a lot of you are with us on SEO. I want to just do a quick overview. SEO is search engine optimization. It's the practice of increasing the quantity and quality of traffic to your website through organic search engine results. Okay. You got to think with less than 10% of people actually click on paid ads. Look at that. Less than 10% click on paid ads. About 94% of search traffic goes to organic. What is organic? If I search for dentist near me, up at the top, look up at the top, it says ad in front of whatever listing. Now, 10 out of 11 people will skip past that, and they will go down beneath the map into the green section. It's called local search results. They might click more results. That's where one, sorry. Okay. That's where 10 out of 11 people go. Now, I myself am not an ad clicker. I am an ad ignorer. Now, you're not a good person because you are, or a bad person because you are. It's 100% personal. But I do want to ask you this. How many of you are like me, ad ignorers? You don't click the ads at the top and you go down and look for an organic result. Okay, good. Now, many people do. Even 1 out of 11 people. There's a lot of people. I mean, just ask Dr. Eric, who's, running a very aggressive Google Ads campaign with us in probably the second most difficult area, in New York City and Queens, and he's getting results. So it works. But I want you to think with this. SEO, if you're at the top of the pile, if you're position number 1, and you have good reviews and a good review rating, you will get 34% of all traffic for that search phrase. So just stick with me on this. Number 2, you will get 19%. Number 3, you will get 14%. Number 4, you will get 9%. Number 5, you will get 6%. Number 6, you will get 4%. Number 7, you will get 2%. And every position thereafter will get a fraction of a percent. And that's just page 1. What happens on page 2 of Google? Anybody who wants to tell me what happens on page 2 of Google? Yeah.
Not much.
Well, I think you're being very gratuitous there, Parissa. I think it's they say that nothing happens on page 2, and it's apparently the best place to hide a dead body. So, little quick joke for you there. All right, so I would say, it's something you need to work on. It's the slowest and most remunerative marketing channel there is. Slowest and most frustrating because it takes so long. But if you get it right, the gates open and the phone turns on. But I want you to think with, now you got me there. Now you got me, whether it was a Google ad, a postcard, you have a campaign, a referral campaign. Now I'm going to check you out. Now I'm going to look into who you are, what you do, and I'm going to give you some things to think with here that are, I guess you could call it a marketing hack. I'm going to go through, again, a postcard, because a postcard is very much like a website. It has different sections. It's like a mini billboard. So I want you to look at this postcard right now. Many of you asked me for design tips. Now we're going to go through it. And I want you to imagine that you are a consumer. You just got this postcard. This is real life. This is a small postcard. This is the very conventional small postcard. Get in your mind any point about what's right or wrong. So give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down on that postcard. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Everybody got to vote. Everybody's got to vote. Okay, good. Now I'm going to walk you through some things. How many of you feel that there were just too many messages? So, you raise your hand. Okay, good. Good. For me too. I looked at, what did I look at first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh, and it was just too busy. Next thing, font. Do not use serif, italics, or cursive fonts. I'm going to define what serif is. Serif is that nice little accent that you see here on the left side. It's artsy. It's nice. Do it for your waiting room. Totally okay. In promotion, big block letters, very easy to read. Now, I want you to think about contrast. Contrast, everybody pick a color. Look at this color wheel. I'm going to do a quick art lesson. Pick a color, any color. Now, whatever color you're looking at right now, look directly opposite the wheel, and that has the most contrast to the original color you looked at. So if you looked at blue and you're looking at orange, orange font would stand out the most against a blue background, or a blue font would stand out the most against an orange background. Now, do you need to always put blue on orange or orange on blue? No, but look at the color you looked at first and look at the colors right next to it. So if you're looking at blue, you're looking at blue-green or blue-violet. Those colors would have the least contrast. So it's going to be hard to read the font. Thumbs up if you track that advice. Thumbs up. Good. You want adequate contrast. Next point, font size. Look at this postcard. How many of you, like me, need a bit bigger of a font to read that? Raise your hand if you would like that font to be bigger. Right. This person is trying to cram a bunch of information in as if this is a directory that I've been waiting for. It is not. Man, this is unsolicited promotion. I am not waiting for this. So do not use small fonts. For me, as somebody 53 years old, I would have to get my glasses to read this, okay? Millennials are very fast. Man, they read so fast, they go through stuff so fast, but it needs to be millennial friendly. So look at this compared to this. Look at this compared to this. Do you see how big fonts play a role? Thumbs up if you do, thumbs medium, kind of, thumbs down, I'm lost. Good. Now I'm going to put another postcard up here. I want you to see, what do you like and what do you not like? I'm showing you the front and the back. And I want you to think with the 3-step process: attract, interest, get your message across. So Give me a vote, thumbs up or thumbs down for this postcard. Good. Yeah. Good. Now, some of you are saying kind of thumbs medium. Well, I'm going to go over a couple points here. That image, first of all, how many of you think that that's a real patient? Put your hand up if you think that's an actual patient. Good. Put your hand up if you think it's a stock photo. Good. And now raise your hand if you think that this person is attractive. Maybe to others, maybe not to you, I'm asking, but right. Okay, good. So for some people, they will be insulted by that image. You are using sex or, it's discriminatory, whatever. I'm just telling you, to some people, it doesn't just talk teeth. It says tanning, it says hair, it says makeup. So be clear about it. Now look at the back of the postcard. What do you see most prominently here? What do you see most prominently? I see the price. How many of you see the price most prominently? Think about that as an attract step. You're using $399. Hey, do you want to spend $399? I don't. I'm cheap. I definitely don't want to spend $399. Gone, trash. So think about the back as well. Now, let's look at this postcard. This is a standard size postcard showing you the front and the back. Give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down right now. You are all 100% correct. Now look at, I'm showing you this. Somebody spent time designing it. They spent money printing it. They spent money posting, and then they're waiting for the patients to walk in and they didn't. But look at it. What does this image communicate? You've got a middle-aged woman standing there with a headband, holding a conch shell. I'm lost. Then when you look here closer, when experience matters, and again, I don't know if we're talking about like adult dating here. I don't, I'm lost. But if I look closer, some of you will be able to see it. Some of you will not. What does it say above when experience matters? What does it say? If you can read it, pipe up.
Friendly care,
Nobody?
beautiful smiles.
Good. So how many of you can read that now? Friendly care, beautiful smiles. Put your hand up. Okay. For those of you that have just done what I've gone through, why is that wrong? Why is friendly care? It's great. Listen, of everything on the postcard, that's probably the most impinging point. But why can't I read that? Why can't someone read it? Contrast, beautiful. Whoever just said that. What else? Font, beautiful. It's cursive. It's beautiful to look at if you can read it. I want you to get the idea that attract, interest, get your message across is important. Look at this. Look at this postcard. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Right. Let's go through it. Attract. Not because she's attractive or unattractive. It's because we all know exactly what's going on. We've been there. Interest, cracked, missing, painful teeth is built into the message. Worried about your cracked, missing, painful teeth? Marketing perfection right there. Will that work in your area? It may not. I've got one of our clients that this is her postcard. She got, I don't know, 250 people off this, 250 new patients from this postcard. Now she's in a rural area. She surveyed them. They're readers. It's in a rural area where people still read. Can you imagine that? People still read. And so, but it's got a before and after photo on the kind of dentistry that she gets a lot of. She put in all the points from her survey. We call them buttons. And she got people over months to come in off that postcard. I think she did it herself on Microsoft Word, or her office manager did. Design. Well, you'd run this by any designer and they'd fall off their chair. But I want you to get the idea. It's more along the lines of attract, interest, get your message across. So how are we doing so far? How are we doing so far? How many of you have found this helpful? We're at 1 hour. How many of you have found this helpful? Good. Now, some of you came for some other things. I want to know, what else would you like me to touch on? We're now in the question and answer. For those of you that have to leave, it's 2 o'clock. I hope this was valuable. I'm going to have this as a recording, and I will include the next 30 minutes if you have to go. So thank you all very much for coming. But for everybody else that can be here for another 30 minutes. We're going to get into some like actual stuff right now. But first of all, I want to know why you came, and are we scratching that itch? So who wants to start off and volunteer?
Dr.
Oh, yeah.
Falduto raised his hand.
Dr. Falduto, let's shoot. What you got?
What's up, Dano? Why am I here? Because I'm all in. Number one. All right. And I love the thing with the testimonial from the doc from New York. Even if you get just one pearl out of everything, the fact that he said the Google reviews are not the people that are the insurance-driven people. Bingo. Yahtzee.
Bingo.
Everything.
Yes.
You know?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that's what I want.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad you're here.
All right, good.
Very glad you're here. Thank you, sir.
I got to get to work. I'll watch the last 30 minutes this weekend.
On the video, you got it.
All right.
Great.
Take care, man.
And then likewise. Hey, Lisa, I saw you. Talk to me. What's up, Lisa Seastrom?
So I attended the webinar because I was directed to by my husband dentist. And
Yes.
he really wants to know the strategies to make it through this tough time, because we've been struggling for a couple months.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I'm happy to report to him that it's important to promote first and fast.
First and fast, and in every way. And listen, an important thing that Mr. Hubbard covered in that and covers in that policy is find successful past promotion and put it in a new dress and get it out the door. So I want you to all to think like, listen, in the past, we have done this successfully and it worked. Good. Well, just because it was a year or two old doesn't mean that it's old. It just means that back then it worked. Well, yeah, dress it up and let's get it out the door. Now, if you haven't worked on something in 2 years, marketing is a changing landscape. So you got to make sure that you're modernizing. So if any of you want to check your website with me, send me your website. I'll look it over. You want me to look at a postcard? Send it to me. I don't know if Parissa is still here. Parissa, oh, there you are. Parissa.
Yes.
Can you unmute? Yes. So Parissa is in, boy, you want to talk about a competitive area. I mean, they're in like, they're servicing Los Angeles, where basically there's probably 2 dentists for every coffee shop. All right. And there's a lot of coffee shops. So there's a lot of competition. And here she is doing direct mail. And she's doing direct mail in not like some super highfalutin thing. It's Parissa, if you wouldn't mind, just share your experience. You did run some promotion by Vicki and I. We gave you a couple tips. You said, oh my gosh, that makes total sense. You implement it and tell us what the channel is, what it costs, if you don't mind,
Sure.
and then your result.
Yeah, so I never thought that postcards would ever work in our area, but I was like, you know what, like, let's try it. And the good news is I live in the area that we mail to, because we live very close to our office. So I just kept thinking about it after Dan and Vicki and all of them told me, like, you should try some mailers. And I was like, so I just kind of watched my mail, and I noticed that there's no dentist mailing in my area. So I was like, okay, well then let me just be the dentist that's mailing in my area. So then I just started. We started out with like 10,000 postcards a month in like a 3 to 5 mile radius. Obviously, we're in a very saturated area, so that's a lot of people, just that radius.
Yep.
And we use Clipper, which also MG requested or like recommended. And the price, it kind of depends on your zip code, but for us, ours is 18 cents mailed. So designed and mailed. So that's cheap. So you should definitely do it. That's the cheapest marketing that you can ever do for yourself. And it's just mass mailing, which is what you want, right? You always want to be doing outflowing. So Yeah, and then I wish I had my postcard where I could show you guys, but if you guys want to see my
I think
postcard.
I can put it up on the screen. Keep
Oh,
talking. I'm
perfect.
going to see if I can put it up on the screen if you're comfortable with that.
Yeah, that's fine. And then I just actually, it's so funny, Dan, because while I was on the call with you, so now we do 20,000 a month, and I just literally texted my girl at Clipper, and I was like, give me pricing for 40,000 a month, because I'm like, you know what, like I got to start. We're doing well, but I'm like, let's just double it. Like, why not? When you find something that's working, you should always just increase it and keep it going. You found something that works. So
correct.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. I did get it. I'm going to put it up on the screen. How many of you would like to see it? Okay, good. Deposit 1 Bitcoin in the following account. I'm just kidding.
Yes. My phone number is no, just kidding. For myself. Yeah. No, just kidding. Totally kidding.
Okay, good. I got to put up on the screen here. Stand by. Now, listen, you try this, and I want to make sure you understand it may work and it may not work. And if it doesn't work, you change something and you keep changing. And if you've given it a go and it's still just not doing it, well, then give it a miss. But that is marketing, and it is frustrating because it is, well, that's marketing. It's trial and error. So I'm going to put this on the screen now.
Yeah, and I mean, the good thing is,
Krista, at least maybe you could talk about it.
Yeah, you can change this whenever you want, right? So every month they'll send you a proof, and you can adjust it. You can get a whole new design. You can do whatever you want. So you know, you just see what works. For me, this is our postcard right now. We've been running it for maybe this design for probably about 6 months now. I don't really change anything, and I really feel like you need to run something for about 6 months to really see if it's actually working. The only thing I added this past month was, do you have 2020 dental benefits? Don't let them go to waste, because the end of the year is coming. So now's the time to market that. The back, I thought it was important. So that's actually my husband and I. So I put like real life people. My husband's the dentist, and that's myself. That was one of like our engagement photos, but it's fun. We jumped up in the air. We're like, woohoo, come to the dentist. So I figured like it would work. On the front, I have, him with a patient that he was very, very happy with. And then I have a review on the back. So people kind of get like a real kind of like envision what it would be like to be a patient at our office, right? The QR code is really important, at least for our area, because everyone's on their phone 24/7. And then I put the Invisalign. This was Dan. Dan gave me this little gem here. So I have a before and after. I kind of want it bigger, but I'm kind of trying to figure out where I want to do that. But either way, and then I also have a QR code that will scan like what a person would look like after Invisalign treatment right on thetheir phone. Oh, I saw your question.
Good.
Dan can obviously answer this too, but I would do it every 6 months. I would, unless it's like little tweaks. Like I added, for example, on the front, across from coffee bean, because I wanted to give someone like a source point of exactly where we're at. Something small like that, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't change like big images or like necessarily your go-to message for like, I would say 4 to 6 months, because you're not going to be able to have stats on if it's actually working, but that's just me. Maybe a little bit less, Dan, whatever you think.
Yeah, listen, you don't change something that works. That's one thing. And if you do want to make a change or something, you can run another postcard or a separate postcard. But do understand that people will get tired of a message and be ready for that. So everything Parissa just said. Now, Parissa, how many times do people come in? And first of all, I want you all to see what she's done. $500 off, $500 off. And she's made it look like a coupon, free second opinion. Parissa, how many times do people come in actually like handing you that like a coupon?
Oh, they do it all the time. They literally bring me my whole postcard. So the most popular one is the $59 one. But I also get the implants and the free second opinion. Actually, I get all of them, but I would say like maybe because my 59 is on the front and on the back, but that's the patient I want anyways, because I can diagnose everything. So just bring them, right. So that's fine. Right. Definitely make sure you have your disclosures on there, because you will get a couple of patients that are like, well, you told me a cleaning and whitening and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yes, like, and I can't give you a deep cleaning for $59. Like, if you have periodontal disease, make sure you just dictate whatever you want on there. My fax number, somebody asked why I have my fax number. I don't know, really,
Yeah.
honestly. We do get faxes. I just left it. I mean, I don't know. But I do have my phone number is a tracking number. That's really important as well. Always put a
Yeah.
tracking number on all your different types of marketing, because that's the only way you're
Yeah.
going to really be able to see how many calls you're getting from that piece of marketing. So
Good.
online booking, I don't know if you do online booking, but I always have that on there because I would say probably 60-70% of our patients book online. Like, they don't even call us. They just go through our website.
Good. Now I'm gonna put this out there. So don't everybody go rush to sign up for online booking, because this is something Parissa has grooved in over time and has it worked out exactly with their schedule and such. And they know how to deal with that. So she makes it sound easy. Everybody give Parissa a big hand. Thank you, Parissa.
You're welcome.
For all this wisdom. But she has worked very, very hard to make that a seamless approach in her schedule. Now, you could definitely entertain that, but I just want to make sure you don't go, oh, okay, good. Well, Parissa does that, so it must be easy. No, it's a challenge, and they've worked that out.
No, and you definitely have to have all of your systems in place before I would even entertain that. My main point is, like, just have an easy way for them to get a hold of you. You don't want your phone to ring like 5, 6, 7 times and no one's there because you're closed that day. You know what I mean? You either need to have a really good call center, that's a whole nother battle, or you just make sure your phone's getting answered or somehow they're able to schedule. You don't want them to get a postcard and then call and they can't get a hold of anyone. That's not fun. And you just wasted a lot of money marketing. So yay.
100%. Thank you so much.
Of course, you're welcome.
I just want to tell you this, everybody here, realize that, you know, for marketing, some of you are different spots. Let us know, we'll help you. Google Ads, probably the first, fastest, quickest way to get a result and launch. And you want to do that right now. You want to do that right now. You don't want to wait till October, November. You see, if you've got Google Ads grooved in, and over the next month, 2 or 3, generally takes 2 to 3 months to groove it in that time, your campaign is now, it's hitting. It took 2 to 3 months to test it and get it dialed in. Now it's hitting for the holiday period. That's when you want to do that, but act now. I would definitely say that. SEO, I know for a number of you, you know, a number of you are like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. Now I get so many people off of that. And some of you are just like, well, I've recently signed on and I'm waiting. Yeah, it's frustrating, but realize this: when you are now ranking for your key search terms in your area and you're in those top spots, the phone is not ringing based on how many times somebody clicks and how many times you're paying for it. So a longer term channel, your SEO, the longer you wait, the longer it's going to take. So get started on it. Google Ads more right now. And then somebody also mentioned social media. I'm going to bring this up on social media unless anybody has any other questions. Social media and how to use social media for now type patients. So I'm looking, does anybody have any other questions or want to bring something up before I move into the next section, which we got like 16 minutes left. Chime in, ask aloud, nothing in the chat. Okay, good. So somebody asked, I want to see successful social media post and implementation. Oh my gosh, so important. But I'm going to tell you this right now, and Alex or Julia, if you could post the link to the Blumberg digital page. What we're doing is we're taking posts from our clients and we're reposting it. And even like general awesome social media posts that any dentist is doing, we're going to repost it on our page. So you can kind of use that as a central repository of place to go to look at good social media post ideas and examples. Okay, so if you could put that in the chat, are we able to put that in the chat? That's our Blumberg digital page. We want you to go there to look at what other people are doing. And if you've got a great post, please post it there for the other people. What we're trying to do is saying, hey, listen, this got a lot of engagement, or this got a lot of attention, or this was just fun. And that's a big part of family dentistry, is just keeping it fun and alive. So that's one thing. I alluded to something last week or 2 weeks ago in our last webinar that we're about to come up with something. And I'm going to tell you what that is. Some of you are about to change out a website. we have been in construction and planning of a new website platform that has everything built in, including getting all your reviews from Google, Yelp, Facebook, all into one place. You can answer your Google and your Facebook, but you can't answer Yelp there, but you'll get all of your reviews. It'll have a repository of all social media, the best social media posts. You can customize it. You can do your own video, upload it. It sends for transcription, takes the video, edits it, and puts it in your website with the transcribed content as a blog post. This is big. It's huge. This is, I'm telling you, millions of dollars worth of investment, because we're looking for the best website developer to come and help you with your website. And we've been using these authorized people that, you know, have done a pretty good job, but it's still not perfection when it comes to what I want to see in a website. And it's frustrating for us. It's frustrating for you. So we're going to have 5 to 10 templates for you to choose. You can obviously customize it and have your own website platform, have all your social media stuff, manage all your social media posts in one place. So it's pretty exciting. That's coming probably 3 to 4 months. So you know what that means, probably 5 to 6 months, but it's big. It's in construction right now. There's no product like it. You will be the first to have availability to it. You will be the priority for it. And that's coming. Until that time, we are creating a central place where you can get some great ideas on social media content. So has that been put in the chat? It has. So we're gonna make this the popular thing to do. Julia is putting quite some fun stuff there. And I'm gonna just go over there a second. Look at that. It actually has my photo. Do you guys thumbs up, short hair, thumbs down, short hair? I need to know because my hair is all long right now. I'm not used to it. Okay, good. How many of you like long hair better? Raise your hands. Long hair better. Okay, short hair better. I know, I'm with you, Donnie, man. I'm not used to it. My wife is like, you better not cut your hair. Okay, so we're putting this content here, but look at some of the stuff we're putting here. There's great stuff here. We want you to go here, look at examples, and then what we want you to do is we want you to boost the post. Boost the post. When your post gets some content engagement, meaning people are actually, you know, liking it and it's going well, then we want you to take it and boost it. And what it's going to do is it's going to boost the post to friends and family. So if I'm liking your page, I'll see your content, but my friends and family will also see that content if you boost it. Now, we'll walk you through that procedure. We might also be working with you on a Facebook ads campaign. We can work with you on that stuff too. But let's just get out there, see what others are doing. This is everyday posts. Keep it fun, keep it interesting. Think about this question. Think like a consumer. Here we are again. Think like a consumer. Why do I go to social media? Do I go there to learn dental facts, or do I go there to put a smile on my face, to take a break from the world? Most people go to social media to take a little break, to put a smile on their face, to learn something, to be engaged, and then they'll engage. They'll like, or, you know, they'll share and stuff. Good. Think about that. Secondly, when you're looking at what the post is, ask yourself this question: attract, interest, get the message across. Does it do these 3 things? Does it attract? Is there something that brings me there? Like a bulldog puppy. You want a post that's going to get attention? Put a bulldog puppy, or the office mascot, or, you know, a cute little kid singing, or something like that. Attract, interest. And then what's the message down beneath there? People want to see people smiling, doing well. Your engagement, and then you check and see what gets engagement. Does it always have to be about a toothbrush or toothpaste or mouthwash or Invisalign or services? No, absolutely not. Feature your patients. Feature your patients and their accomplishments. Patient just got a new car. Congratulate them and get them out there with the thumbs up. And, you know, people are going to feel good for that person. Person just graduated from this school, or they just achieve this award, or they're a musician, have them bring a little keyboard and play something for you. Watch the engagement. It goes crazy, but test it out. Once you start to see what gets engagement, You see something getting a lot of engagement, boost that post. If you don't know how to do that, we can help you out. But thumbs up if you track what I just said there. Excellent. We have 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Open floor. What do you want to ask me? Anything you want to know? Anybody? Because you know I can just keep talking, but.
Well, I'll chime in since we've got a little bit of time left. I sent
Yes,
you
sir.
just kind of to follow up on the email that I sent you not so long ago about tracking ROI. We kind of gone over lots of different ways to market with different marketing actions, and I know one of the steps there was to practice necessary economies. And I think tracking the ROI is probably a really big part of that. Do you mind just going into that a little bit further, kind of elaborating on that third step?
Good. So what Donnie's talking about is return on investment, ROI. So you're spinning down a channel. And if you look at what Parissa covered, Parissa said she puts a tracking number on her postcard. You should have a tracking number on every marketing channel you use. So you have one on your Google My Business profile, on your website, on a Google ad. If you do multiple Google ads, maybe multiple numbers. On this postcard, maybe you do a second postcard. Each of these are a different telephone number. And if you have a service like Weave or Addit, they'll provide you with as many tracking numbers as you want. So, it just, the phone rings and then it forwards to your main line, but you can see how many times that particular phone number rang. It's not a perfect science. Somebody will get your postcard, look you up on Google and say, oh, I found you on Google. And technically they did, but first they found your postcard. And maybe even before that or between that, they talked to a friend who's also a patient. It's an imperfect science. So I went over this with Donnie. It's an imperfect science, but before you go stopping a channel and marketing, you say, well, listen, I've been doing this ad and this postcard, and it never seems to work, and nobody walks in with it. And, I don't have a tracking number on it, but nobody ever mentions it. And great, you shut that channel off, but you better be watching like a hawk, because you shut that channel off and all of a sudden your numbers dip. You put that channel right back in. So you're watching your numbers and you're watching your marketing. Practicing economy, generally, yes. When it's promotion, it's just an imperfect science. You don't know necessarily if that channel is hitting or not. Now, you put something in a movie cinema and people could come and they scan a QR code, and that QR code takes them exactly to a landing page. You can measure how many times someone landed on that landing page, and then did they convert? Did they set an appointment or not? But some of marketing is just imperfect. So I do want you to track your marketing. I don't want you to continue marketing that isn't working, but be very hesitant on making a bunch of changes at once, because then if things fall over or they spike up, you don't know what it was that made that happen. Secondly, if things do tip over, you want to be able to put that right back. Thumbs up if you track those points. Okay, any question on those points? And Donnie, I don't know if I actually addressed your specific point or question, but I generally, are we all good with that? Okay, Donnie, we did, okay, good. So return on investment, what I'm gonna tell you is more important than anything for all of the Blumberg digital clients here. You know what we're talking about when we have you do that call log. And that digital call log tracks every single phone call. Where did the phone call, what happened in the phone call? Where did it come from? Did the person schedule? Yes or no? And then ideally your post-populating data, when the person comes in, did they arrive or did they not? And if they arrived, did they accept treatment and what was the value? That's the perfect world scenario. Is it a lot of work? It is. It is. It is. But you're going to see with the new platform we're about to launch, all your calls will be tracked. They will all be recorded on a centralized dashboard where you just click play and you can listen, you can flag the call, like either it was mishandled by the office or it was a great phone call that we need to follow up. You could send that to somebody to chase up. It's a sexy platform coming. In the meanwhile, do what you can manually. Okay. Great. Any other points, questions? That was a great question, Donnie. Thank you. Any other questions or points?
Hey,
Going
Dan,
once.
I have
Yes,
a question.
Dr. Yang, good to see you.
Okay, good to see you. So for each marketing campaign, should we create a QR code in addition to the tracking number?
So that depends. If you've got a postcard, just like Paris's, you should definitely have a QR code on that. And that QR code would take you to a landing page specific to that campaign. If you're talking about a Google Ads campaign, well, a Google Ads campaign is generally what's called a click to call. Like I see the ad on Google and it says, hey, you know, look your best on that very special day. Oh, I got a special day coming up. What's that? How do I look my best? Click. It takes me to either on a mobile or on a desktop. It takes me to a landing page. Do we need a QR code at that point? Not necessarily. Could you put a QR code for a person to scan on desktop to do like a quick Invisalign scan, you know, like the virtual Invisalign scan? You could, but it could also get too busy. It's a great question. Where I would definitely suggest you have a QR code as any printed material. So if I have a postcard or if you have a referral card that you send out with your patients as part of the Care to Share program, makes it very fast and easy for them to get somewhere. And you want them to get somewhere that's very specific to that campaign, not generally to your website, but specific to that campaign. Does that make sense, doctor?
Yeah, that makes sense. So now let's say I'm thinking how to improve that as you, for example, can we like create some like a blog or video on the YouTube, let's say, and then make that link as a QR code when we talk about something about
100%.
You know, treatment or problem. So we may let patients scan the QR code then to get this link. So find out like information what they need. Is that help?
Absolutely, and that should take them to what's called a landing page. And a landing page in short is a one-page website. It's a website that's just one page. So you're talking to me about cosmetic dentistry, or you're talking to me about implants. Good, I'm interested in implants. You then give a link that takes me to your website where you talk about emergency, you talk about wisdom teeth, you talk about whitening. I'm not here for those other things. I'm here to talk about implants or be talked to about implants. Whereas you take me to a landing page that talks about implants, dentures, hybrid implants, all on 4s, all on X, few success stories, testimonials, captions, it's all implant based. Or you're talking to me about cosmetic dentistry and it takes me to a page that talks, or you're talking to me about emergency, you know, need a dentist, want a second opinion, looking for a new dentist, just moved to the area. Good, now that's generic, but then I wouldn't start talking to that person about implants and cosmetic just yet, right? That's a conversation we'll have in the office. So you can direct a person's attention based on what they're interested in. I click this, I got this, I'm acting off this. That's a message that comes as part of a campaign. Now take my engagement and direct me to exactly what I reacted to. Does that make sense, doctor?
Yeah, makes sense. Excellent.
Great question.
Yeah,
Great.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Folks, you're very welcome. Folks, I think we're at the end of the day, unless anybody's got any last questions. Raise your hand if you have found this valuable. Raise your hand. Awesome. Good. And then I'm going to take the last few minutes. Oh, somebody there want to ask me a question? I do want you all right now to put in the chat, open up the chat, look on your menu. There should be a chat feature. I want you to open up the chat and I want you to put what you would like in the next marketing webinar. First of all, do you want it in 2 weeks or do you want to give it a little bit more time? If you want it in 2 weeks, raise your hand right now. If you want it in every 2 weeks, if that's too soon, if it's too soon, lower your hand. If it's too soon, lower your hand. Okay, good. If you want it every 4 weeks, raise your hand. Okay, good. Every 3 weeks, raise your hand. Okay, good. All right, good. We'll see. I'm going to record it and I'll make it available, but okay, good. There's a couple of things that came up. I want you to continue to put things in the chat. What do you want in the upcoming ones? I do this for you. I do this for you. I 100% want to make sure this is helpful to you. Event-based marketing, fantastic. We can definitely talk. What Donnie is talking about, event-based marketing, is you say, I have this going on. $500 off Invisalign, and it is specific, it expires. Or I have an event such as it's, back to school special, or it is a sip and scan Invisalign event and it's a specific date. Does that impel people to move? It does. It does. Gets people to think, oh, I could just come back here whenever. So certainly we'll talk about event-based marketing. That's a great one. Topics cover would be how to video marketing. Yeah, how to use videos and set it up. Good to definitely talk about that. Thank you. Great to see you. Tracy, appreciate that on the hair comment. And anything else that you want in the coming webinars. I am otherwise so happy that you were all here. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to put whatever comments. Please take some time. What do you want more? What do you want to know more about? And what would you like to hear from clients? Because I think it's valuable to have clients here. So with that, thank you all for coming to the Bloomberg Digital Marketing Webinar, and we will see you in the next one. Thanks, everybody.